new topic, say multi-threading. So what do you mean by a multi-threading? So multi-threading program, it contains two or more parts that can run concurrently. Each part of such a program is called a thread. It means your program say is divided into two logical parts. Each part you can name it as a thread, and when these two threads run simultaneously, then we can say that it's a multi-threaded program. So a general example to understand what is multi-threading is, say you use say Microsoft Word. So when you use this MS Word, it allows you to write text. At the same time, whatever you write, spell checker is running at the back end. So it will whenever you type, at the same time the spell checker is also running. So whenever you make some mistake, it highlights in say red color. Okay, and so it is example of say multi-threading. Say another example to understand what do you mean by multi-threading is, say you have a web browser. So you have a web browser, say you can open multiple tabs. In the multiple tabs you can say download n number of multiple files, and at the same time you can say browse in some other tab. So multiple activities are going on within the same application simultaneously, can be termed as a multi-threading or multi-threaded program. Now this thread can have several states. I mean, a thread can be in a running state, a thread can be in a running state, a thread can be ready to run state, it can be in a ready to run state, a thread can be in a suspended state. I mean, when you temporarily want to stop its activity, you can temporarily suspend the thread. After you can have suspended, if you want to resume the services, a thread can be in resumed state. A thread can be blocked when waiting for a resource. I mean, when a particular thread wants say a particular resource to continue ahead, but that particular resource is not available to that thread, then that thread can be in a blocked state. And at any time, if you want to say terminate a given thread, you want to abruptly stop its execution, you can terminate it. So thread can be in any of these states. Okay, so now thread priorities. Thread can have priorities. Say in your program, say if you have few threads running, then threads can have priorities. Now there is a misconception that higher priority thread will run fast. No, higher priority threads won't run faster than a lower priority thread. Priority of thread is not related with the speed of execution. It is something related that chance to get execution. To understand it clearly, say you stand in a queue for say to purchase a movie ticket in a theater. Okay, so there are few of your friends are standing in a queue to buy a movie ticket. At the same time you notice a VIP person, he arrives and he wants to buy a ticket. So you might have seen a scenario wherein you are standing in a queue. I mean, but he will get a more priority. He will get your ticket first and he will enter the cinema, whereas then you will get tickets. Okay, so 5 of your friends are there. So first one got the ticket, second one got the ticket. At the same time some VIP person arrives, then he will break the chain. He will give the ticket to that VIP person. He will not ask him to wait. Once he issues ticket to that VIP person, he will resume with your third friend, fourth friend and fifth friend. So a higher priority threads get resources faster then a lower priority thread. This is the meaning of priority. Okay. then context switching is there. What do you mean by context switching? Context switching means two threads are there. Now context switching can happen in two ways. One is voluntarily and another one is forcefully. Voluntarily context switching means, let's say you are doing certain activity, you notice that one of your friend is waiting for some resources that you are having, and you don't like him to wait for longer time. So what you do is, by your own, you say that I have been using this particular computer, this particular resource for say last 30 minutes, and I have seen that you are waiting for long amount of time. So I want you to use this computer, and once for 5-10 minutes, and once you complete using this, I will again use this computer. So by willingly you have assigned that whatever the resource you are having to your friend, and after his usage again you take back the control. So this is voluntarily context switching. Preemption by higher priority thread, preempted by higher priority thread in the sense that you are doing certain activity on a set of computer, and suddenly your senior class or seniors arrived in say that particular lab, and they say, move out of the lab, we want to do some more important tasks, we want to perform some more important thing. So definitely you can't deny because of their higher priority. So higher priority means forcefully they can ask you to relinquish the controls of the system whatever you are having, and voluntarily means you can assign a particular system, as you can assign a particular process or resources willingly to another process, willingly to another thread. So this is the meaning of say thread priority, and this is the meaning of context switching. Context switching can happen say voluntarily and forcefully. Voluntarily means you can say leave the control of the resources voluntarily by your own, and preempted forcefully means some higher priority thread will tell you that I need this control immediately, so whatever you are doing, stop right there, let me finish my task first, and then you will get a chance to resume your activity from this particular point. So this is the meaning of preemption. So we will see all these things in code. Now synchronization. Synchronization is again a very important topic, because say you have multiple threads running in a program. So you might have played that game, say bike race game. So in that particular game, multiple cars are running, multiple bikes are there, your bike is also running, some policeman is also running, some tree objects are there, buildings are there, everything is moving. So you can assume everything, all of these things as a thread. All these threads are there in the program. These threads are running at the same time to give you a feel like all the bikes are running and you are running in a race and something like that. So proper synchronization between these threads are necessary. So in your operating system subject in your graduation, or maybe in this semester, you might have remember, you must have studied this concept of say monitor. Synchronization between multiple processes. So what it says, say you can consider this monitor as a small box hai, consider a box in that say ki there are multiple processes, multiple threads are there, they want to access the resources. So सबसे पहले क्या होगा कि the particular thread number 1 जिसको कुछ use करना है, it enters that box. जो भी अब thread number 1 is in the box, so all other threads will wait till thread number 1 is in that monitor. Okay, so ऐसा एक concept हमने पढ़ा है. So in Java, in our program, we have been provided by a synchronized keyword synchronized keyword. With the help of, we will write synchronized method. We will try to learn that synchronized method. So this synchronized method will help you out ki if multiple threads are there and they are sharing this particular method, so their execution should be in synchronized manner. Otherwise, if threads are not in synchronized manner, then what will happen? Say five students are there and they are sharing a common printer. Say five people are there and they are sharing a common printer attached to their systems. So and everyone has given a print of say 5 to 10 pages. So if the things are not in synchronized manner, then what will be the output? The first user's 1 page, second user 2 pages, then fifth user 3 pages. This kind of things you may notice. But if it is in synchronized manner, then what we will see? First one, all the pages, second one, all the pages, third one, all the pages, likewise. So we will see how this thread synchronization works. Then messaging. Messaging is a concept wherein these threads sends message, these threads communicate with each other. So one thread needs to send a signal to another thread that I am in the running state, or you please wait till I finish this activity, or I have completed this particular activity, so that other threads can resume activity on the said function. So all these kinds of communication wherein one thread interacts with another thread is known as messaging. There are few set of there are set of functions which have been provided in Java for this inter-thread communication. So we'll see how this inter-thread communication works with the help of program. Then this thread class. So like we have seen, whenever we want to create a user defined exception, we take help of a exception class. So for the same here, similarly here also, we have been provided with a class, that is thread class. We have been provided a thread class and one interface, that is runnable interface. So using either thread class or runnable interface, we can create our own thread in the program. Say if you want to create your own thread in a program, either you will extend the thread class extend, thread extend करेंगे आप, or you will implement the runnable interface. Either way, you can create your own thread in your program. Now this is to create a new thread. Your program will either extend the thread or you will implement the runnable interface. Either of these ways you can create your own thread in the program. We will see how a thread can be created using both the methods. Now there are thread class defines several methods to manage the threads, and few of the methods are like this. Get name, you can obtain the name of your thread. Get priority, what is the priority of your thread is alive or not. Okay, this join method we will see for inter-thread communication. Wait for thread to terminate. Run, it is entry point for the thread. Sleep, how much time you want that particular thread to stop execution, I mean sleep period. Start a thread by calling its run method. All these methods are there in the thread class. Using these methods you can create your own thread and have certain set of operations defined on that particular thread. Now the main thread, even if you don't write any threading concept in your program, whatever programs we have seen till date, there is one thread is always there in your program, that is called as a main thread. One thread is always there in your program, it is known as main thread. Okay, main thread. see, this is the program. See, this is the program. In this program, we have not written we have not created any thread of new user defined thread. Let's try to understand what this program means. You create a class name of your choice, a main method. Now inside main method, now we know that if we do not create any thread, then also one thread is there which is running in the program. One thread is always there. So let's try to obtain the reference of that thread. How to obtain the reference of that thread? Like this. You create an object of thread T. You create a reference variable T for a class thread and thread dot current thread. So thread dot current thread will assign the current thread in this reference variable. जो भी current thread है वो इस reference variable, this reference variable will point to the current thread. We have not created any new thread here. जो भी current thread चल रहा था उसको point किया है t नाम के variable ने. Now if we print the system.out.println current thread plus t, then you will see this thing in output, that current thread name is main, 5 is the default priority, and main is that group name of that thread. So by default जो हमने पढ़ा है कि if we do not create any thread in a program, there is one default thread is there in the program. So what is the name of that default thread? Default thread's name is main. All the threads have priorities. So by default, when you do not assign any priority, the default priority for this thread is 5. And this is the group. You can have say multiple groups, and inside those groups you can have multiple threads. So by default, this main thread belongs to group that is main. Okay. Now let's say you want to change the name of your thread, that is from main you want to change the name to my thread. So how to change the name? You can change the name t.setName. Now setName is a method which is provided by the thread class. Okay, so using setName you can change the name, and after changing name, if you again print the thread, you will see the thread name is my thread, priority is 5, and it belongs to same group, main group. Now if you want to say here you have written say a for n is equal to 5 greater than 0 n minus minus, start from 5 and go till 0, go till 1. Okay, till 1 minute, till 1. So it will print, say first time it will print value 5, then thread dot sleep 1000. Sleep 1000 means sleep for 1000 milliseconds. Okay, 1000 millisecond means 1 second. So you print 5 and thread dot sleep for 1 second. 1 second means ask this particular thread to rest, to don't do any activity, say for 1 second. Say after 1 second you go here, the current value is 4, you print the value 4 and don't do for 1 second, take a rest for 1 second. so it will print 5, take a rest for 1 second, 4, take a rest for 1 second, 3, after 1 second 2 will get printed, after 1 second 1 will get printed. So it means you can have your thread in, say you can ask your thread to wait for certain amount of time before moving ahead in the process. Okay, so let's try to understand this program. Say this is the program. Okay, let me run this for you. So first the name, second name C1. So 5 4 3 2 1 got printed, and each one got printed after waiting for say 1 second. Okay, So this is how you can say control your code. This is how you can control your thread. This is how you can say print what is the name of your thread, what is the priority of your thread. This is how you can ask your thread to sleep for certain amount of time that you want.